Holy crap, GTA 6 trailer 2 from Rockstar has been released, and I can't wait to go through it all with you guys. There's so much information to see here on trailer 2, but not only that, Rockstar decided to also drop some screenshots, artwork, possibly going to be loading screens, and much more about Leonida and Vice City, so I'm very excited to go over it all with you. There's got so much going on here. I am not a GTA YouTuber, so if I miss a lot of things here, then yeah, it explains why, but I'm just excited for this game because I had a situation in my life about 3 years ago before the first GTA trailer ever came out. I had a work accident and almost lost my life, and as I was recovering and the first trailer dropped, it just made me very excited. I've played GTA for a very long time. I was 14 when GTA 5 released. It was an amazing experience, so being able to live through it and making it to see even trailer 2, it's just such a blessing. It's something I might definitely play on the channel. But aside from that, I'm sure you already saw the full trailer and other YouTubers breaking it down, so we're just gonna move on to the screenshots and also the characters because I'm very excited to know more about Jason, Lucia, and all the other characters that they meet along the way. So let's get into it. So looking at the people that are gonna be in GTA 6, you see Jason, Lucia, Cal, Booby Ike, Jaquan Priest, Real Dimes, which is a duo rap group, Raul Bautista, and Brian Heder. With each of these characters, Rockstar actually showed a lot more screenshots about each one of them, and we're gonna read about it as well. So let's go ahead and get that started. So Jason, my boy Jason, god damn, he's so sexy. Jason wants an easy life, but things just keep getting harder. Jason grew up around grifters and crooks. After a stint in the army trying to shake off his troubled teens, he found himself in the Keys doing what he knows best, working for local drug runners. It might be time to try something new. I kind of knew already he was kind of from more ex-military than ex-cop. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's a cop, because he had like a buzz cut. But realistically, like a big giveaway is if you look at his left arm tattoo, you can see that it's more of like a military style tattoo. So he's definitely a veteran. I guess he's just trying to make something of himself. And for Lucia, her background is that her father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk. Life has been coming at her swinging ever since. Fighting for her family landed her in the Leonida penitentiary. Lucia's learned her lesson, only smart moves from here. So that is why she was in prison, is because she fought someone probably either to death or like she completely ruined their life. So yeah, she's a strong kicker. Now, what I like about this picture of Lucia is that she's more like hand-to-hand combat, more martial arts. She's very like athletic compared to Jason, who has like big guns, gun knowledge. So there's going to be a very, very interesting, diverse way of, I guess, playing each character, which is going to be very interesting to me. Hopefully we can train them to be more equal, but maybe there's just some traits that we cannot change, and that'll be very interesting on playing missions with both Lucia and Jason, or maybe one or the other. Maybe there's many ways we can play a mission with either both of them or one of them. So that'll be very interesting how we can probably do that. And then we got my boy Cal Hampton, who is one of the funnier fellas, but I guess he's also a paranoid freak. He's funny enough that Jason's friend and a fellow associate of Brian's, I guess that's the bar, Cal feels safest hanging at home, snooping on the Coast Guard comms with a few beers and some private browser tabs open. So he's more of like a conspiracy guy, but he's also a good friend of Jason, so he probably knows his computers, concerning he looks a little geekish. Now we're moving on to Booby Ike. He is the owner of a strip club called Jack of Hearts. He is a local Vice City legend, and he acts like it. One of the few to transform his time in the streets to legitimate empire-spanning real estate. Booby's all smiles until it's time to talk business. So he's a very interesting fella. He's a businessman, obviously, but you don't want to mess with him, I think. Next guy we got is Jaquan Priest. He was always more of a hustler than a gangster. Even when he was dealing on the streets to make ends meet, breaking into music was the goal. So he's an aspiring artist. He's trying to make it out. I'm assuming he works with Booby Ike, so that's pretty interesting. Next we have Real Dimes. Their real names is Baylux and Roxy, aka Real Dimes, have been friends since high school. Girls with the savvy to churn their time shaking down local dealers into cold, hard cash via spicy rap tracks and a relentless social media presence. So they're definitely just trying to do what they can, and also they have a talent of music stuff as well. And honestly, I don't know. I don't think they're probably going to be story characters. I think they're going to be one of like the Strangers and Freaks missions. Probably some side missions, you know, maybe they want to get their name out there, so you kind of help them. Maybe there's missions where you know, beat up competitors or get their names into like a list or something. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are part of the main story. So yeah, very interesting characters. Now this guy is interesting. Raul Bautista. He's an experienced bank robber. He's got the confidence, the charm, always on the hunt for talent, ready to take the risks that bring the biggest rewards. I'm assuming that is who Lucia and Jason will meet, and they'll teach them the ropes on how to be bigger criminals and, you know, to make more money. And he seems like a person who's pretty reckless ridiculous because the next score he wants to make is probably a lot bigger than before and more dangerous. So yeah, he's very up about that. And then we got Brian Heder, and he's basically a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys, still moving product through his boatyard with his third wife, Lori. Brian's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work. So he's also pretty seasoned, but he's more kind of traditional, like his own thing. This is who we saw in the trailer. So he's actually letting Jason live rent free at one of his properties as long as he helps with local shakedowns and stops by for Lori's sangria once in a while. So yeah, he's just, you know, looking out for him. Obviously, Jason's got to do what he's got to do. Rockstar also has shown us a bunch of places in a screenshot form, including Vice City, the United Keys, Grass Rivers, Port Gellhorn, Ambriosa, and Mount Caliga. So let's take a look at them. We're literally looking at screenshots underwater. I see a sea turtle. I see so much fish, an eel. This photo looks like concept art, but if you look closely, it's not. I think it's literally in the game. So that's insane to me. Looks like we got another photo here. It looks just so much going on. There's a lot of people having good time. Obviously, it's sunny. It's nice. Literally on the right, you just see someone sunbathing. You see a bag full of stuff for swimwear, probably towels. A little bit close to the boat edge, you can see champagne. You can see beer bottles. Just like so much detail. And obviously, I see about 3 different floaties. You got the classic flamingo floaty. Then you got a blue one on top of a lure predator fishing boat, I believe. And then you got a green alligator one on the right. So there's like just so many floaties here. But what's interesting is that there's so many different types of boats. The lure predator is also different. You can customize it because the one on the left has a shade spot. The one on the right has no shade roof. And it's just like insane to me how much detail there is. Even the engines on these lure predators are different. It's just insane what you could do with this. So I'm very excited to see how much customization there actually is. And then obviously here you can see there's going to be a lot of activities to do. So dirt bikes, there's mud everywhere. It looks insane. You get dirty. On the very left, there's a random raccoon, I guess, trying to get away from here. And this is just beautiful. Just the scenery here is just so amazing. I'm so excited. And then you got another screenshot here. It looks like it's Weasel News reporting the right news. And it looks like they're filming stuff. So maybe we can see real life, or not real life, we can see real GTA news happening if you turn on the TV. And if you blow up the helicopter or whatever, or you steal the helicopter, maybe you can report the news yourself. So that'll be very interesting. Here we have the Grass Rivers. Rockstar loves to show off what you can do in this game, how much freedom we have. And there's literally a police chase happening in the swamps next to alligators. Like, what? This is amazing. I'm excited for that. I'm assuming the hovercraft is either civilian or police owned. So that'll be interesting as well to see what kind of police chases there are and what kind of vehicles work best as well. Because this looks like a big truck, you know, and then the police car behind is more of like an SUV. So I think you need different types of vehicles to actually traverse through here or you'll get stuck. So that'll be very interesting. Then you have the Keys, another screenshot of this. Beautiful. Just wherever you look at, you can travel there. That's just mind-blowing to me. I'm so happy for that. And then here we have what I love to see is diversity of NPCs. Not one NPC in this picture, and I looked at it twice. I see no NPC here with the same exact model or clothing. Maybe the hat on this guy and that guy, but you know, hats are hats. And it's just amazing how much Rockstar put in all this detail here. You got an iguana. Come on, there's an iguana here. Come on. And it's just like there's so many other things going on here. I love it. It looks like there's actual tourists here doing stuff and people just being people. NPCs don't look like NPCs. They look like real people, and I love that. We just have like so much going on. They're just people minding their own business, doing their own thing. Looks like they have loved ones and stuff. I almost will feel bad massacring all of them. Not saying I want to, but just there will be, you know, just intrusive thoughts. Hey, you know, moving on. You're just getting a bikini car wash. Like if you can really get that done, that's amazing. And more detail on the car as well. Like just look at the interior of this car. That's amazing. And if you look to the front, no, not the lady with her chest, but the soap that's on the car. As they're wiping it off, it actually reacts to their wiping. That's insane to me. And also, if you look at the guy's arm, the hair that stands on his freaking arm is just amazing. There's just so much crazy detail. Rockstar didn't have to do this. Next picture, again, they seem to be very, very specific looking people. I wonder if these are the strangers and freaks, people that you can meet to do hunting missions in the Grass Rivers. Here we have an alligator and a bobcat, I believe, next to this gentleman here who needs a little bit of sunscreen. And it looks like they just are having a great time. And then on the right, you see some alcohol, obviously, and chewing tobacco. So that's very interesting, very parody-like, very stereotypical, of course. And then here, there's just a beautiful shot. You can literally go under these docks, man. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of collectibles in this game. Literally people eating out here. It's like literally a pier. Like it's, dude, I'm so excited. Back to the grass rivers. What a beautiful screenshot here. Got 3 different alligators coming over. You're definitely hunting them, obviously, collecting them probably to sell, or maybe you can make your own skins and boots and stuff. That'll be interesting. And then this one is a very interesting photo. So on the left, you literally see that there's gonna be a lot of politics going on, probably very funny parody politics. Moving a little bit to the middle, you see biker gang. Now, what's interesting about this biker gang is that the guy on the very right is a very big dude. Like the size of him compared to the guy on the left, I don't know, like that kind of made me weirded out for a second. I was like, whoa, this guy's huge. But maybe it's just the perspective thing that I just probably like have an illusion of. And then obviously on the very top, you have your beautiful parodies and stereotypes. Proud allies of diversity owe treats. And then you get a bunch of different colored chocolates or cakes or whatever these are. It's really funny to see how Rockstar can make fun of both parties and both ideologies, and they don't care. And I love that about them. They don't care. If you get mad playing this game, like, bro, there's like bigger issues out there. Here we have another beautiful scenery at night. It looks like it's kind of close to Ambriosa. Here we have an interesting photo here. Liberty City Cycles is his hat. Looks like these are the biker gang from GTA 4 in Liberty City. So that's just amazing to me how they're still here. Probably their own gang. I don't know if we're gonna be rivals or if we're gonna help them out. We're just gonna see what's going on with them. I really like all the different subcultures of gangs and just people in general. I love that diversity. Can you imagine if there's only one gang in Leonida and Vice City, like they have the verse? Like, I'm so glad that there's diversity and subcultures of every kind of person. It just makes it more interesting to traverse and have new experience and do new things. Another beautiful picture. I think this is probably a part of a mission. We have to burn some type of field down, so this will be interesting to see what happens. Don't know much more information, but just look at how beautiful this is, man. Moving on, this has caught me by surprise, but there is actual forests in this game, and it looks crazy to me. Here in this photo, you can see a deer already been shot in the middle, laying in the grass. These two men are gonna try to go, you know, get venison from it. And on the very right, you see a little gray squirrel, which is funny to me. Here's another screenshot. I think it's called Mount Caliga National Park. Beautiful. So I was afraid that it was gonna be a very flat map, but they made it work. There's a lot of hills, a lot of cliffs here, so I'm really excited to traverse this part of the map and just see what we can find. Maybe there'll be a Vice City Bigfoot. Speaking of scary Bigfoot, we got a scary mountain lion trying to get some deer, so that'll be very interesting to see how wildlife and the ecosystem works around here. But just look at the water, man. Oh my gosh, the reflections are beautiful. Kayaking is confirmed. We can actually go and kayak. This is amazing. It's just amazing how there's all these personal things this NPC is wearing to kayak. It's just amazing how much detail there is here. We also got a flood gauge, which I don't know if it could possibly raise. I mean, if it could, then we might have some floods here, which is gonna be crazy. Like, map changes, like, oh, that'd be amazing. Moving on, we have the Starlit Motel. Looks like it's just a simple motel, kind of close to the grass rivers, probably a little more swampy area, it seems like. I don't know if these two gentlemen here are story characters or if they're actually a rival gang that we're gonna have to face. I don't know if the guy on the left is the boss and the guy on the right is his buddy, but just looking at them is just crazy. The detail on the skin of the man on the right, he has, I believe, 2 bullet wounds and like either a slash or like a stab wound. It looks insane to me. They look kind of scary, so maybe we're gonna be versing them. And this screenshot is very interesting to me. So I think she is part of that gang that we just were talking about, because on her right shoulder, it kind of has the same wing as the guy on the previous photo. So they definitely have some type of symbolism in their tattoos. But she's giving mints to this gentleman right here, who actually has different tats from her. And I think these are either 2 rival gang members, or this is just the guy who likes to have tats on him. But I feel like it is 2 rival gang members, because the guy with the tats, I noticed his lips are a little bit like darker colored. I wonder if he colors his lips, because I'm seeing more of his tats. There looks like a little, like a goblin devil thing, as well as another goblin near the words ha, like, you know, haha. Maybe they could be, and they're called the Goblin Gang, and then these ones are like the winged devils or something. I don't know. Like, it'll be just very interesting to see what happens between rival gang members. Moving on, we don't only have a strip club in the Vice City. We actually have one here. I believe it's either I think it's close to Grass Rivers, correct me if I'm I'm wrong, but clearly you can see on the very left, the person's being kicked out. Probably they're being rowdy and too touchy, so they're like, hey, you gotta get out of here, man, you drank too much. Looking from the club all the way to the sign, it says new girls, new food, open all night, hiring dancers. Now that made me think we can play as Lucia, and I wonder if maybe as like these little side jobs, side gigs, we can make her be a dancer to some of these clubs. And then instead of it being like in GTA 5 where you have to do the yoga side mission with like all the buttons and stuff, maybe you can control how she could do like pole tricks or something. That'll be very, very interesting to see. Moving on, we also got a bunch of interesting adults action here. There's campfires and everything, so it's interesting. Wonder if we could join these and have a good time with these people. Moving on, we got the OG Vice City with the plane. Come on, we all know about this. Looks very, very pretty, very nice. Here we have another picture. It's like the Vice City beach. Just two couples looking out. I noticed she's a little bit more older while he looks younger, so I guess there's gonna be sugar mamas, sugar daddies going on here. Maybe they're also strangers and freaks that we're gonna meet. Here we have just more pictures of possibly other gang members in Vice City. And then this photo is just so funny to me. You just have your stereotypical, you know, old guy staring at a woman on the beach. But funny enough, I think there's two more people staring, and it's the guy with the treasure magnet device and possibly the lifeguard. So I think we see like three people like staring at her, which is kind of funny to me. But if you look off to the left, you can literally see a couple holding hands. Like that's interesting. I'd never seen people hold hands in a GTA game. It's going to be my first time seeing that. And then on the very right, you can see just people throwing footballs. So this is going to be interesting if you could do these little mini games and stuff. And then obviously you have the Spring Breakers, I believe. So there might be like a spring break event in Vice City, and you're going to see, you know, a lot of crazy things going on. And what interests me the most is not like the girls and how they look. What's interesting is that the two girls on the right that are arrested, one girl is shorter than the other girl. So I guess height difference is a big thing that's going to be here. We're going to see a lot of bigger people, smaller people. We're going to see a lot of things going on here. So that's very, very cool to see here. And then obviously for the boys, we know what we see, yada, yada. We get it. However, if we zoom in on one of them, and no, I'm not trying to be weird, they're literally sweating their butts off. Literally. Like, they're working hard. They're making money and they're sweating their butts off. So that's very cool detail. And then here we have a couple more pictures of Vice City itself. Here in this picture, I see that there is a police stop going on. There's arrests being made on the very bottom right. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more of those random events. And then on the very left, it looks like you can play basketball, hopefully. But if you could just watch people play, that's cool too. There's probably a couple more things I have missed out, but you know what? This is why we have a comment section and a community here on this channel. So if you guys found something in this photo, then by all means tell me. And here we have a lot more going on here. So we do have homeless people confirmed, but this time homeless people can have dogs with them. So that's interesting. You know, homeless people with pets. I mean, that's pretty realistic. Hopefully we are able to like give money to them or like pet the dog or something. So it'll be really cool. And obviously you see that there is a biker gang here in Vice City. So that's pretty cool. We saw that in the first trailer. Here's another beautiful shot of Vice City in general. Ferris wheel confirmed. Can't wait to use that. And yeah, there's just so much going on here, and I'm very excited to see more information. But let's move on to new artwork. And honestly, I made this little effect right now, and it looks like a loading screen. So I'm thinking that these could be our loading screen confirmed. I don't know. I just feel like this looks very, very cool. I could see it be part of our loading screen. You know, I don't know. I think there's much more that's being shown that I probably missed out, but this is the main stuff that I saw, and I'm just very excited to just share my findings and opinions about this. Honestly, this game is going to be a very, very huge change in the gaming industry and just a cultural change in general. Let me know in the comments what you think about the second trailer, and let me know if you want any more videos like this of me talking about different video games. If you're a returning viewer, I know you know me for my gold camo grinds on Call of Duty, but no, I actually like to play a lot of different games. So if there's any other game you probably want me to review or talk about or even play, like, let me know in the comments. So thank you so much, Rockstar, for this little bit of information and eye candy for me. Hopefully I can make a follow-up video on this and possibly even read your comments and just check it all out. Overall, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.